Okay, so let me give a bit of a introduction to understanding the drama of the next few weeks. Right, so we've just finished the intensity of Yaakov Esav, Yaakov Lava, and Yaakov, all that stuff, and now we move to the next generation with Yosef being sold into slavery and all those wonderful things. So Ray Liebtag likes framing these series of parshiot. And I've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning as we actually get to it. That the drama seems to be, right, Bereshit is fundamentally about three different Beis words, right? Bechira, Bechora, and Beracha, right? There's chosenness, right? There's firstbornness, and bracha, which is usually a consequence of chosenness. And the drama often in the Sefer is figuring out whether any given story is a Bechira story or a Bechora story, right? Yaakov and Esav, for example, starts off as a Bechora story, right, where Yaakov steals or tricks Esav into giving him the Bechora, but it turns into a Bechira story, right? Meaning Yaakov is chosen, and Esav, as we already mentioned in Malachi, the beginning of Malachi, is hated, right? He is rejected, and the bracha is an indication of that, right? The bracha that he gets, the fact that Yaakov gets Birkat Avraham, is an indication that he is Nivchar and Esav is not Nivchar. Obviously with Yishmael we had that, where Yishmael first, right, he is the Bechor, but it turns out in the end of the day, right, he is not really the Bechor nor the Nivchar. Right, Yitzchak it's only Kibi Yitzchak Yikarei L'Chazara, and Yishmael is kicked out, and all the Bnei Keturah are kicked out or sent away. Not kicked out; they're sent away. They're not the chosen ones. They're not the heirs of Avram. The question that looms over the second half of Bereshit is when Yaakov chooses Yosef by giving him the Keton and Pasim, is that meant to be Bechira, or is that meant to be Bechora, essentially, right? Right? Meaning, is he giving him a favored status? What? Well, he is the Bechor, right? He's the Bechor of Rachel. Right? He's clearly the Bechor of Rachel, right? But meaning, is his favoring of Yosef meant to just grant him a higher status? Or is that indication that we are now in the fourth generation going to see what we've seen, or however you want to look at it, right? In the generation of the Shvatim, are we going to have the same problem? That are we going to reject the brothers in favor of Yosef? And if you understand that, then you realize why the brothers are so scared, right? Because Yosef starts off, but the parsha starts off that Yaakov shows preference to Yosef. And then he has dreams about how he is going to be the king and they're going to bow to him. But now that's scary because, first of all, you don't know what, right? That already indicates that he is assuming Bechor status or more. And the question is then, what is going to happen, right? Is that going to lead to their rejection? Now that's compounded by the fact that what else looms over that indicates that this might be a Bechira story? Right? In addition to the problem of Yosef, what else exacerbates the problem?
Rachel's only kid.
What? Well, that doesn't exacerbate the Bechira problem.
Rachel's only kid.
It's worse than that. What exacerbates the problem? The fact that several of the brothers seem to deserve rejection. Right? Remember Rashi in last week's parsha? Right, that Reuven, right, sleeps with whatever exactly that means, and then the next pasuk is by you bnei Yaakov shnei masar, bnei Israel shnei masar, and Rashi says because you might have thought that because of his sin Reuven was rejected, right? It turns out he's not rejected. There are still 12 sons, or there are still tzaddikim, and he then uses that to explain the Deya in the Midrash and the Gemara that Reuven didn't sin. Right, but it's in addition to the fact that Yaakov is showing preference to Yosef, Reuven acts in a sinful way that calls his legitimacy, calls his worthiness into question. Shimon and Levi get into a fight with their father. Yehuda, as you see later in the parsha, is
Nar, that's post being sold.
Yeah, and what does Rashi say? Right, Rashi has a theme going. Rashi says, why is the Yehuda story mentioned in the middle of the Yosef story? Hariduhu achiv migdulato. Because when they realized how upset Yaakov was at the selling of Yosef, so they rejected Yehuda and he had to leave. Right, and he eventually gets back, which means that you have two things going on at the same time that call into question whether the brothers are going to be chosen. One is that Yaakov is showing preference to Yosef, and every time that's happened in the Sefer, that never turns out as a mere Bechora story, that always ends up as a Bechira story, and everyone else ends up getting rejected. Plus, we seem to be picking off all the brothers, because first Reuven is problematic, then Shimon and Levi are problematic, then Yehuda is problematic, right? Those two patterns happening together are not very promising for the status of the brothers by the end of Bereshit.
Levi had a problem?
Shimon and Levi. Right? In Shem, where Yaakov says, right, he's furious, and later on, right, you get Arura Pamkiaz, right? I don't want, right, curse their anger, I don't want to be part of their portion, right?
Wait, you mean the city?
And those are all sons of Leah, as opposed to
that one.
Sons of the concubines.
Right. Plus, you have now, obviously, right. 4 of the sons are sons of concubines, which always runs the risk of just being rejected, like everybody else.
Zilpah was
right?
Rachel's.
Zilpah is Leah's.
Okay, so why are Bill's children not Rachel's before?
So, right, they should be, but then she actually has children, right? Remember, we have this, right? Sarah does this as well.
Hagar was.
Right? I mean, Rachel does say, Ulai Ibaneh, right? Maybe I will be built through her, right? The same way Sarah does. But remember, that doesn't work out very well, because once she has children...
Right, that goes away.
Right, that goes away. So, and that seems to be, right? It's this complex, right, which is bad in the first half of Bereshis, but is terrible about the second half of Bereshis, that is really, really pushing the drama. Right? The question that is hanging over these stories is Yosef's chosenness one of Bechora, or is it one of Bechira? Now it turns out that it's definitely not one of Bechira, because all 12 children are part of Bnei Israel, and it doesn't turn out either to be a full Bechora, because it's true that he is the Bechor. Right? Reuven loses it, but Reuven still is sometimes called the Bechor. Yehuda is given leadership, and Yosef is given some aspects of the Bechorah. Right? So it turns out...
Both Bechors, it still doesn't matter. Like the leader of the leaders now, you're saying?
No, this really does matter. Right? For example, Yosef gets a double portion. Right? A double Shevet status. That's a big deal. Right? That's a big deal.
For Levi.
No, because Menashe and Ephraim, because he's the Bechor. Bechor gets double. Bechor gets Pishnayim.
Oh, but Levi doesn't get a portion.
That makes sense. Ephraim and Menashe, 2 portions. What?
You seriously only realize that now? That's like pshat. It's not like a midrash. That's literally pshat. That's pshat, right? He's the Bechor. He's given 2 shvatim. What?
So 12 or 13 tribes?
Well, it depends on the context. It's always 12. It does in certain contexts. Levi is counted as a shevet, and then Yosef gets combined, and sometimes it's not, right?
So where are they now?
Anyways, not for now. But that's the right. But like I said, the drama is that the brothers seem to think they're going to be rejected. Right, and what's amazing about Bereshit is that it ends, that it's sort of a Bechora story. It's definitely not a Bechira story. Everybody gets chosen, right? And everybody ends up getting a bracha, which is also unique to, right, to this story. And even the Bechora is divided, right? It's divided amongst 2, maybe 3 brothers, right? Meaning the actual status in terms of implications are given to Yehuda and Yosef, but Reuven is every so often still referenced as a Bechor, right? So in the end, it all works out. But the reason there's so much tension up to there is because that's not clear until we get to Vayechi. Okay, so that's sort of an introduction to this whole drama of Yosef. Yeah.
How did Yehuda? But Yehuda's nowhere before. I mean, he's going to be part of the RC.
No, but he becomes the leader because he's the first son of Leah that deserves anything, right? So he's not really Bechor, but he takes Malchus.
No, what about Levi? Why did Levi get the...
What do you mean? Because that's a good question, which we'll have to get to, right? But remember, as far as Yaakov is concerned, Levi's out, right? I mean, not out. Levi made a mistake, right? A serious enough mistake. Okay, fine.